I have over 170,000 followers on TikTok and I post life advice and self improvement content. And the number one thing that people are always asking me about is how to communicate better and how to articulate themselves better. And the first thing that you need to do, and all these things I'm going to tell you, you can literally start doing from today, is just slow down. You rush, you speak way too quickly because you think that you're taking too long. And I could start scolding you and chastising you for doing this, but I actually sympathize because I relate with the reason why you speak too quickly. Your whole life, you've been told to rush. People have always told you that what you are saying isn't important. Or if they haven't said that to you, they show it by the lack of attention that they pay to you. People are always cutting you off. So your coping mechanism is you rushing. You're always trying to get it out quickly because you want people to listen. You want people to hear your ideas. But your ideas are not valued. And maybe you haven't worked on yourself enough to get to a point where your ideas are valued and you actually have really valuable things to say. Maybe that's the case. Or what is most likely the case is you're not surrounded by like-minded individuals. You've been working on yourself. You've been leveling up. You've been reading books, watching podcasts. You watch my videos and you're gaining some really unique insights and you're thinking some really cool thoughts. But the people around you are not on the same wavelength as you. And what that means is even though you are saying great things, they can't relate at all. And because they can't relate, they don't value it. I mean, one thing that I always say is don't cast your pearls to swine. Like if I had pearls, if I had, let's say, if I had this ring, I've got a ring here, or I've got this linen shirt on. Are you going to give this ring or this linen shirt to a pig who's going to roll around in mud and just completely devalue it? Probably not. So when I say don't cast your pearls to swine, what I mean is when you have valuable words, don't just say it to anyone. Don't just speak when people don't care what you have to say. I mean, if you start talking and someone clearly shows they're not listening through their body language, or they're not paying attention, or they even cut you off, just stop there. Don't even waste your valuable words. Because I know the kind of person you are. You're working on yourself. You have value to say. Your ideas are valuable. If someone's not going to listen, stop saying it. And that's going to help you stop rushing. Because, as I said, the only reason you rush is because your words aren't valued. People have convinced you that you need to rush for people to listen to you, but that's not the case. You're working on yourself. You're valuable. You're like the top 1%. Trust me, you're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing. But instead, surround yourself by like-minded individuals. Like-minded individuals who are on the same path as you, who are also having these valuable thoughts and insights, who are also having these valuable debates, who are reading the same books as you, watching the same videos as you, putting themselves in uncomfortable situations day by day, just trying to reach their full potential by any means possible. I have a community where I help young men live purposeful lives and reach their full potential. And in my community, you will have access to like-minded individuals from around the globe who think the same way you think. So if you want to communicate better, join my community. Click the link in my description, fill out the form, book a call with me, we'll talk, and join my community. Because when you're around like-minded individuals who share the same thoughts as you and are having similar levels of, who are on a similar level as you, similar wavelength, your thoughts will be valued and you won't feel the need to rush anymore. Because when you speak and you say something valuable, we will actually listen. We will actually take time out and consider what you're saying. You'll see a lot of nods, a lot of these, and a lot of, because what you're saying is valuable. But as long as you stay around the people that you chill with now, you're going to keep rushing because no one's going to listen to you. And I mean, that's not good. You're working on yourself. You have valuable things to say. No one cares. I mean, that's torture. That's literal torture. So either keep on rushing or never share anything and keep it to yourself, or join my community and be around people who you can actually share these valuable insights with. That's the first thing you're going to do. Talk slower, slow down. And another thing is, when you slow down, you're less likely to mess up what you're saying. Because when people speak quickly, so let's say I'm trying to speak quickly because I'm trying to impress you or try and make sure that you're listening to what I'm saying, you're way more likely to fumble your words than if you slow down. If you just relax a little bit, sit back. Yeah, so what I was saying is when you speak slowly, it actually means that you're less likely to make a mistake because a lot of people speak quickly. When they speak quickly, they're trying to get their words out at such a fast rate that they're going to mess up. Can you see how slowing down makes it a lot easier for me to get everything out? You're going to stop stuttering as much and you're going to stop struggling to communicate effectively. So slow down. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do, if you want to communicate better and improve your communication skills right now, is just think before you speak. There's so many reasons why you should think before you speak, and a lot of people don't think before they speak. And I'm saying that because I used to not do that as well. I used to just respond straight away. But when you respond straight away, you say stupid things. I've gotten in so much trouble over the years. I mean, when I used to do that, I just used to speak. No thought behind it. No considering the consequences of what I'm about to say. I just say it. Mouth diarrhea, as my parents used to say. But it gets you in trouble. You're not going to communicate effectively when you just say whatever. You're going to sound stupid because you haven't really thought that through. You know, start the same way that when you post on social media, for example, sometimes they do those checks to see if your content is actually like within their guidelines and all of this stuff. That's what they do for YouTube. That's what you need to do when you're speaking. Like, put it through some systems and run it and think, is this really a good thing to say? Is this really intelligent? Is this smart? Is this going to get me in trouble? Unnecessary trouble? And once you've done that, then you know, okay, should I actually say this or not? And a lot of the times you'll find yourself speaking less because you thought about it. But if you just talk, I promise you, you're going to keep saying stupid things. You're going to seem way less intelligent. You're going to be a much worse communicator. It's not going to be effective. So think before you speak. Also, when you think before you speak, people will actually value your words more because let's say we're having a conversation and you ask me a question and I just reply straight away. It doesn't seem, I mean, maybe your mind works at the rate of the speed of light. But for most people, they're thinking, you didn't even put any thought into that response. You just answered straight away. But if you pause, and I've seen Jordan Peterson do it and I love it. You ask me a question, I pause. Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with that because now that seems like a much more educated response. Even if I'm just trying to buy myself time to think, it looks like the answer I'm about to give you is going to change the world and literally solve world hunger or whatever. So stop taking your time. Pause before you think. You'll sound so much smarter when you just pause because you're not going to say stupid stuff. People are going to perceive what you're saying as much more intelligent. And also, you can actually formulate what you're going to say in your head. So, the same way that when you write an essay, I mean, I used to write a lot of essays. I still do some writing. I love journaling and everything. I like to write. When you write an essay, if you just write an essay straight away, it's never going to be as good as if you actually plan the essay beforehand and you think about what you're going to say, how the points connect together, and all of that. So when you think before you speak, you get to almost plan your answer. I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. When you've texted a girl, she's messaged you, you just text back really quick. We've all been there. There's no shame in admitting we've all been there. But if you text her back real quick, straight away, as soon as that message is now delivered, you're now regretting replying so quickly because now you're starting to think of all of the great things that you could have said instead of what you did say. So take your time. Stop being in such a rush. You're not going to be as stupid. You're going to be perceived as more intelligent and more thoughtful. And you're also going to be able to formulate those sentences in your head and say something that is much more respectable than what you would have said originally without formulating it. Trust me, thinking before you speak is a game changer. And if you want to improve your communication skills right now, start thinking before you speak. You can literally do it from right now. The last thing you're going to do if you want to improve your communication skills is stop trying to be interesting and start being interested. I promise you, if you start taking a genuine interest in the other person, your communication is going to skyrocket. You're going to be the most effective communicator out of everyone you know. Because in our world now, no one really cares. No one really has time for anyone else. So when you have a conversation with someone and you're giving them all of your attention, you're giving them all of your energy, you're not on your phone, you're not looking here, there, and everywhere, but you're actually showing that you care. You're genuinely interested. You're asking follow-up questions. Come on now. You're going to be the best communicator. That person's going to leave the conversation and they're going to be like, wow, that was such a great conversation. You know, that made me feel so great. Like, would you rather be the person who they leave a conversation with you and they're like, oh, wow, like he was so amazing? Or they think, oh, wow, I feel so amazing. I feel like the coolest person, the smartest person in the world. I want to talk to them again because I want to feel like that again. And this applies to, I mean, if you want to, attract your dream partner, you need to learn how to genuinely be interested and just listen and talk less. Because every single woman loves to be able to talk and to say what they want to say and share what they want to say. And they love a good listener, not someone who's just waiting to quickly say their own 2 cents. So take your time. Genuinely be interested. And this isn't even a skill thing. This is just an effort thing. I play a lot of sport. You can probably tell. And in sport, there's certain things that are skill errors. Like I play rugby. So you might throw a bad pass. That might be a skill error. Maybe you're trying to kick it. It doesn't go where you want it to go. That could be a skill error as well. But there's some things which are more down to effort. So it doesn't matter what your skill level is. It's just about how much you actually care about the game. So let's say if we're doing a fitness block in training, that's not skill. Anyone can become fit. It doesn't take any skill to just go on runs regularly. Like, that's just fitness. Anyone can get fit. So here, this tip here, be interested. Don't try and be interesting. That is just an effort thing. You can apply it right now. It's just a mindset shift. Stop trying to prove to everyone how cool you are. Start being interested and trying to listen and genuinely discover more about other people. Trust me, it will improve your conversation so much more. Because if you're genuinely cool, and if you're as cool as you think you are, why would you have to prove it to other people? Surely if you were so cool, people would be able to tell from the off. They would know from the jump, okay, you're a cool person. Like, I would consider myself an attractive guy. I would say I'm a good looking guy. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But I wouldn't start trying to ask girls if I'm talking to them, do you find me attractive? What would you rate me from 1 to 10? You've seen those videos. So what would you rate me 1 through 10? All of these questions, because I believe I'm attractive. I don't need someone to tell me I'm attractive. I've been told I'm attractive enough times for me to know I'm attractive. So in the same way, if you're genuinely cool and you actually think you're cool, why do you need to prove that you're cool in a conversation? Why are you trying to be interesting when you could just be interested and allow someone for once to gain the spotlight and feel good in a world where they probably feel ignored 24/7? Stop trying to be interesting. Start being interested. Ask those genuine questions. Ask follow-up questions. Use your body language. Nod. Be like, oh, so when they say something, try and make sure that you're actually understanding properly. Oh, so you mean this? Oh, you mean that? Stop trying to just take all the shine. Oh yeah, I'm so cool. I did this, I did that, I did that. There's a time and place to, name your accolades and your achievements, but it's not every day, man. Sometimes just relax, be interested in the other person, and if they ask you, then you can reveal. Because it's much cooler for someone to ask you about yourself and then you reveal something cool about you than for you to have to be the one to reveal it when no one asked. That's not cool. It's much cooler when they discover it themselves. This is how you're going to become an effective communicator and improve your communication skills literally right now. Slow down, think before you speak, stop trying to be interesting and start being interested. And if you want to improve your communication and you want more advice like this to become the most effective communicator, then join my community. I help young men live purposeful lives and reach their full potential. And in my community, I'm actually helping a lot of guys improve their communication. We just had a guy who joined. He lives in Sweden, and he struggled with his communication. He's a natural introvert, but I pushed him, to go to his church and to ask to actually do a speech in front of a large congregation of hundreds of people. And he did it literally the day after I told him. And now he's much more confident. He's taken that step. I think there's a crazy statistic, like 75% have a fear of public speaking. And he's already beaten that statistic because he's no longer as scared of it. If you want to become an effective communicator, if you want advice, if you want help directly from me, and you want to be surrounded by like-minded individuals like yourself who are trying to reach their full potential, click the link in my description, fill out the form, go hop on a call with me, and we'll talk about it. I'd love to have you in my community. But I'll see you in the next one.